And joining us in the studio, we have the two Laker captains, number 10, number 27, John Whitelaw and Chris Brown. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, pleasure to be here.
So I guess the best place to start is where the season ended, unfortunately, and with a big step forward for you guys. You guys reached the national championship game last year off the heels of what I think I agree was the pinnacle moment of the last 3 years in Oswego State hockey, and that was the big win in the NCAA semifinal over Amherst, with obviously Paul Rodriguez coming up with the big goal there. So, with taking that next step forward, and with that in the rearview mirror, what are you guys looking for to take that next step this season?
I think all 3 years for us, as now we're seniors, have been learning experiences. We've come so close so many times, and each time we kind of take away something from each time we've been there. So, obviously, this season we want to get over that hump. I mean, we're 60 minutes away from bringing another championship back here, and so this year that's our goal, and we're just going to use the last 3 years as experiences and tools for this year to try and get over that hump.
Yeah, I think John hit it pretty well. We got a lot of leadership on this team, a lot of seniors, like you mentioned, and everyone's hungry for that championship. We've gotten close, but we still haven't got to where we want to be yet, and I think everyone's focused on one main goal, and that's go here and bring it back to Oswego where it belongs.
I mean, how much does it help having the experience of playing in Lake Placid twice now? Obviously, styles of play tend to change when you guys hit the ice there, and now since you've had experience playing games, 3 games now, and a national championship included, knowing that you know the rink at least, if you getting back there is step one, but does it help at all knowing that you've played there a couple times?
I think it definitely helps. After going in, I think you could even just feel it in the room before our Amherst game there, that guys were a lot more comfortable, and I mean, obviously, but it wasn't like the feeling we had in the room the past 2 years. So there's a little more confidence and definitely some more comfortableness back there. And like you said, it's something we're familiar with, and I think we're fortunate to have it in Lake Placid because so many fans are willing to trip up there to support us. So that's, definitely a great benefit.
Yeah, you never want to use the rink as an excuse at all, but look at our success here in the campus center when we're here. I think that we practicing every day and playing and at all our home games. It makes a huge difference, and especially like John just mentioned, with it being in Lake Placid, for our fans to pack up the car and come down and watch us play, and we really appreciate that, and it really does feel like home when we're in Lake Placid just because we have so much support.
You guys both alluded to it. This is a year where there are 14 seniors on this team. You all, for the most part, you all came in together to a point where prior to 2009-2010 season, there was a lot of questions about how this program would transition after a senior class equal to your size left. How do you feel? You've met 3 years down the road. You've been here. You've been together. How does having especially the 14 of you together, how does that benefit you on the ice?
Well, it's a brotherhood. I mean, the familiarity among us all is, I think it's pretty apparent. We just kind of know and expect what each other is going to do, and that's something that shows on the ice, I think. And it's obviously a legacy that, for us 14, 15 seniors, that we want to leave something behind other than just kind of the team that, couldn't really get over the top of the hill, but they could always get up to the top there. So this year we want to, leave something else behind and try and, add to our legacy, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for the 14 of us is just we're all on the same page. We're all in this together. We're all pulling for each other, and not leaving any guy behind. It's going to be not just the seniors, but every guy is going to be, have a significant role. And if everyone plays their role the best that they can, we're pretty confident that we're going to be successful. And just on our 4 years here, all of us seniors, it's been a heck of a ride. We've had some ups and downs in SUNYAC once, and obviously that's our first goal is to do that again because that slipped away from us the last couple of years, and that was a pretty big disappointment. So look to build on that, and we want to leave here, remembered as winners, remembered as good guys, good people, and the team that could win that big game. So,
John Whitelaw and Chris Brown joining us from the Oswego State Lakers. Guys, your season starts Saturday, an exhibition game against the United States National Under. the past couple exhibitions you guys have played have been against competition that maybe doesn't stack up as much. But this, I think you guys view it much better where you are. So it's got to almost not feel like an exhibition. It almost has to feel like the season is starting. But how much does it help to have a test like that before you count?
I think you nailed it right there, Mike. It doesn't feel like an exhibition at all. It feels like something that we've been building up through for all of our captain skate. To face these guys, we're really excited. We know the quality of opponent they are, and I mean, you can see it. Just we've been kind of keeping track of how they've been doing D1 programs, and I mean, it kind of speaks volumes for the kind of games they're giving them. So we know it's going to be a challenge. We're kind of tired of beating up on each other, and we've been looking forward to getting on the ice against them on Saturday night.
Yeah, not only is it our first game, but it's a huge test. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of kids that are going to be coming in. They're playing all the top D1 programs right now and doing very well. So we know it's going to be a test. These are guys who are going to go on to big name Division I schools, and probably a lot of them make a career out of playing the game. So we look at it as a great challenge. No better way to start off our season with a challenge like that. I mean, no one wants to blow out a team in their exhibition game like we've done in the past. So I think it's going to be good. You're going to see guys on the ice, maybe comfort zone, and going to be tested well. So that's going to play a good factor, and the coaches will get to see where we stand as a team and move forward from there.
In the time you guys have been here now, becoming captains, you've had great leaders ahead of you, like with the likes of Tyler Lyon, Kevin Hunick, Andrew Mather. What have you seen from them? What have you learned from them as captains benefit you as you guys take the reins as the leaders of this team?
Well, I think it all started our freshman year. We had probably one of the best sets of captains I've had the privilege of playing for, with Tyler Lyon, Neil Musselwhite, and Brad Dormady, and even the captains that have followed with Kevin Hunick and Andrew Mather, and they all just model that kind of perfect character and what we want this program to represent. And it's one of those things where I look up to all those guys, and I think it's a real honor and privilege to follow in their footsteps. But I think that it's just modeling what this program's about, and just keeping this tradition alive.
Yeah, not to repeat John, but I feel the exact same way. Those guys, I've learned a lot from each and every one of them. Actually, Tyler Lyon was my captain in junior before I came here, so I've learned a lot from everyone, and we're just kind of taking bits and pieces from each guy, things that we loved about them, and trying to instill that in the team this year. And like you said, it's not just us. I mean, all the seniors are taking a significant leadership role, and we're doing this together, and it's going to be good.
Well, obviously, most of you guys are returning. We've talked about 14 seniors. But you did lose 5 players last year, 2 of them being defensemen. Obviously, defense, I thought, was such a big part of your guys' team last year. I thought it was the best defensive team you've had so far in your first 3 years. Losing Jared Anderson and Hank Van Boxmeer, how do you replace those guys? I know Bobby Gertzakis and Nick Rivet showed us a lot last year, but obviously they don't have as much experience. Do you think those guys will, flawlessly?
Yeah, I think they're looking at that as a challenge, and obviously Jared Anderson, Hank Van Boxmeer were 2 keys on the point for us last year, and they were guys as well. So I think Bobby, Nick Rivet, and our new freshman Denton King, he's looked really good so far too, and I think it's a challenge for them. Can they fill that void? And I'm confident that they can. They're going to do a great job, I'm sure. And I mean, it's always tough when you lose guys as seniors, but that's the excitement of it. Who's going to be the guy to step in, fill that void, and who's going to be the guy?
Losing guys like Hank and Jared, they weren't only valuable on the ice; they were definitely valuable in the room too. So I mean, you lose 2 big voices that were there for the last couple of years, and it leaves a bit of a hole. But like myself and Brownie have alluded to, we have such a strong leader group of guys that I think we can fill in for that aspect of it. But for guys like Bobby, our freshman Denton, and Nick Rivet, like Brownie says, it's a challenge, an opportunity for them. And I think it's something you're going to see them run with, because those are all 3 of those guys are very skilled, very smart defensemen, and I think Oswego is very lucky to have them for the next couple of years.
Over the last 4 years, a flawless for your penalty kill, whether it goes back to Musselwhite and Dormady, when you had guys like Owen Kelly Chris Ayotte and others, just kind of how do you, and that was a big part of that last year, how do you fill in and keep the penalty kill strong? Because your penalty kill has not only been a penalty kill, but almost been an offensive penalty kill. Are you able to transition and fill the voids that the penalty kill sometimes has as you have guys graduate?
Well, yeah, actually we got a lot of guys back that have been really experienced with penalty killing. You said Chris Ayotte, Kyle B in the PK for us last year because he blocks a ton of shots and he's always getting in the road. And even guys like Tyler Leinbrock, myself, like we've all done the penalty kill. So I'm hoping that we can all just gel together and keep that tradition going. You said Mus and Dormo in our freshman year an offensive threat when we were a man down, and that's been hard to replace, obviously, with those two guys. But we still look to jump into the rush when we get an opportunity. But obviously, defense comes first, and we're trying to keep those pucks out of our net.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just something that I know the coaches, with the way the game today, special teams kind of takes a pretty big role in the game, and so our coaches put a ton of focus into our power play and our penalty kill, and they're always trying to find the right guys out there. But like Brownie said, we have a lot of guys coming back that have a lot of experience on kill, and we're a run and gun team, and like he said, when we get the chances, guys will jump up in the rush, and so it's something that definitely is great to have on the defensive end. The guys out there that have the offensive ability that if they get their chance, they can usually make the best of it.
Specific question for Chris. You had some chemistry on a line with David Titanic and Chris Carr last year, which I thought was real interesting. You all different classes, but for a stretch there, you guys were putting points up, and I don't know whether or not the plan is to start you guys on that same line. But what do you attribute to the success of that line and how well you just seem to gel just instantly?
Well, I don't know. To be honest, it was kind of fun because we got put together there for a couple games, and Chris Carr, he had experience playing, but we all just seemed to gel really well. David Titanic, he's a similar player to myself. Playmaking, get his nose dirty on the forecheck kind of thing, get involved physically. But in Chris Carr, I found the biggest thing with him, he was able to find me all over the ice. Very good vision on the ice. And I just found myself in positions to score goals more than I had in the past. And, I give a lot of credit to those two. Both of them work so hard all week in practice. And, it was a lot of fun. We got on a couple months, we got on a good streak. And I'm thinking we'll probably start the year that way. I mean, we finished hot last year. So, and it was great to get that nickname, too, as well.
It's one thing that we haven't really touched on yet, but has been such a crucial part of this lineage for you guys has been goaltending. For the times when he was actually healthy, Paul Beckwith was, bar none, probably one of the best in the nation. Kyle Gunn-Taylor in your freshman year was also. But Andrew Hare just kind of was a guy who came in out of need because Paul Beckwith got injured a couple years back. How has he transformed into a goaltender that you count on to stand on his head on any given night?
Yeah, well, I find here at Oswego it's kind of it sees the opportunity and sees the moment, and that's something, like you said, when Paul went down, that was a huge letdown for us because we figured we were an All-American goalie. He was going to be the difference maker that year, and so at first we were a little upset and disappointed, but Andrew Hare, we all know the kind of guy he is and the kind of goalie he is, and he stepped right in and kind of took that role and ran with it. And the confidence we have in Andrew is bar none. I mean, we want him all the time, and he's always there to make that big save. You look at a lot of games last year where maybe our offense wasn't showing up or we just weren't there. He was always the backbone between the pipes there. So he's a huge part of it. We're usually only as good as he's going to be for us. So he definitely is a huge help and definitely a huge player on our team.
He's been absolutely great for us, and he's always putting in that extra time at the rink. He's the first one on the ice every day, taking breakaways against guys and putting in that. He's just so calm in net, and he gives our team that feel just to be calm, play hard, and that's he's always been there. The backbone, that's a great way to describe him. because if the team does get through our defense or whatever, we know he's there to stand his ground.
Well, I just asked Chris a question about his line. John, your line, obviously, with Paul Rodriguez and Luke Moody, pretty much been together for the entirety of your career here, with a few exceptions. And your point numbers have just increased, or at least the goal numbers have. Of course, you had a phenomenal rookie year, but 41 points last year, including that long point streak. And Luke Moody had quite a stretch last year, and of course we know the clutch goals that Paul Rodriguez has scored. This being your senior year, your fourth team together, you all have the same goal. What are your expectations, which I think is probably expected to carry this team this year?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm very fortunate to have been, placed with two guys like Paul, basically from day one. We complement each other, I think, in all areas of the rink. And we've had 3 successful years, but this year we want to be that impact line, that kind of difference maker, the way our freshman year, Selleck, Fox, and Ligonier were. And, it's something we definitely strive and something we want to fulfill for our team going forward.
This, obviously last year, and then Lake Placid, Minnesota, your sophomore year, has always been where you ended the season. You've gotten there. You've done something that no one else in this program has done. And the subsequent years of getting back, how much motivation does it take to get through the grind of playing the full regular season, then the SUNYACs, and building up to not just jumping right to that point again?
Well, I think it's that motivation of winning. And, like you say, we go far each year, and we just haven't been able to get to where we want to be. So it doesn't take much to motivate the guys to, this first week of practice with the coaches is going to be very, very tough, very demanding. But guys are excited to start the season. And, we use that right to improve, to get better, and that's what we're looking to do. And then, come playoff time, it's all business. So we all came from playing junior where the season's quite a bit longer. So we don't take the season for granted. We know it's short, but, we play every game like it could be our last. And we take it from there. We're not looking too far ahead. We've actually talked about our team goals and just looking at what's ahead this week, concentrating on that game and moving forward that way. I think last year we got away from it a little bit. We started looking too far into the future. I mean, that's okay to do, but I think this year we're going to take a little bit different approach, just kind of look at one game at a time and go that route.
Yeah, like Brownie said, we have altered our approach to this year, and I think it's something that's going to benefit us by focusing literally just on the one game at a time. But as for finding motivation, I mean, every through the rink, every single day you come into practice, you walk by the 2 semifinalist trophies and the finalist trophy, or when you're on the ice at the banners and you kind of see 2010, 2011, 2012, but you don't see anything in the middle there except for 2007. So, at least for myself, and I think I speak for everybody, that when you look up and you see that, that's enough motivation right there, because like we've kind of talked about before, is that seniors, it is kind of a legacy, and we don't want to leave behind a negative one. We definitely want to leave behind a positive.
Well, I hate to bring this up because you guys just mentioned not looking too far ahead, but I can't help but look at the schedule and see a really tough 4-game road trip to end the regular season, and it ends their senior night. And, of course, you guys, the last thing you remember about Plattsburgh is them hoisting the SUNYAC trophy here on this ice. So, without thinking too far ahead of that game and everything, is there going to be a little bit of extra motivation knowing that it's their senior night? You got kind of a chance to ruin that, and, of course, you'll be looking to as far as the SUNYAC goes, but I just think it's interesting that the schedule turned out that way.
Yeah, that's we've actually definitely looked at that too, and it's not ruining their senior night or anything like that. But I think obviously with the rivalry, we're going in to beat them no matter where we're playing. So obviously that'd be a little cake. I mean, have their seniors go out with a loss, not to, but no, obviously. Anytime we play Plattsburgh, it's a big deal to us, and make sure that we play our best game, because if we don't, we probably won't be successful. So we're just going to prepare like a normal Plattsburgh Oswego game, and give us the best chance to win, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, as heated as the rivalry is, we do respect them as an opponent. They're one of the top D3 in all the country, but definitely it will be a little added motivation. But like Brownie said, I don't think we'll be approaching it any different than we would anyone up there. We've been able to find success up there the last 3 years, and it's just going to be another game for us, I think.
I mean, I'd hate to put it, this is it for you guys at Oswego. Every game you play will be the last time you play this game in your career. How sentimental do you seem to be for all the seniors as you kind of go through it all for the last time?
Yeah, it's definitely hit the heart a little bit as we move forward. I mean, we finished up with this week, and we kind of just said to each other, that's our last captain skate. Like, it does. It's not a great feeling. We'd love to stay here longer, but it comes all back to where we're trying to get this year, and if we can go out on top, the best feeling in the world and the best thing to look back on Oswego.
Yeah, I don't think it's something that, like Brownie said, it has sort of started to sink in, but I don't think it will truly sink in until the season's done and we're at home and we're away from each other, and maybe it's next September when you're used to coming back and you're not. So it's definitely it's going to be a special season, one that, like we have stated, we want to remember for the best, but it'll be sad. A lot of these guys, we've gone through everything together. I've said it before, we're a brotherhood, very close, and even in the summer we all stay close together too. So it'll be sad, but it's something that I don't think will ever really end. We'll always be a part of Oswego, and we'll always be coming back, to cheer on the future teams. So we're looking forward to it.
Just the last thing you guys about, I mean, we talk so much about legacy and the Giants senior class and your fourth year here, and obviously you want to end it with a national championship, but individually as players, what do you want to leave behind here, when all is said and done and you graduate?
We just want to be remembered as, a group that was very successful here, a group that was involved in the community. We've done a lot of community involvement, stuff like that, and that's important to us. We want to be respected, not only by the student body, but also by faculty members here at the college and, and the community, like I said. So, we just want to be remembered as a group who was fun to come and watch play, who put people in the stands and carried on that tradition.
Yeah, I think Brownie hit the nail on the head there with everything, but being remembered not only as good hockey players, but good people off the ice. And I think that's the most important thing. It's been a blast for us, and we hope everybody else has enjoyed it over the last 4 years. But that's kind of what we'd like to leave everybody with. Remembering us as good players, active members of the community and within the school as well.
One thing is for certain, you guys have made this a fun ride for us. We appreciate the time. Chris Brown and John Whitelaw, the captains of the men's ice hockey team here at SUNY Oswego. 6 days from now, they will kick off the 2018 season with the under-18 exhibition game against the U.S. team. Our coverage for that game will start at 6 p.m. with countdown to face-off. Puck drop will be at 7. Thank you, and good luck with the season.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much, guys.